Time is now the currency. We earn it and spend it. The rich can live forever.
4 minutes for a cup of coffee? Yesterday it was 3.
Time's the talk of the town. They really beat it into our heads of like, oh, I don't have time for that. Oh, time is time. Like, time this. Oh, don't have time.
I put in some overtime.
You got a minute?
Who has time for a girlfriend? I don't have time.
People would always say like, oh, you must come from time.
I assume my time is as good as anyone's.
They just are really having fun with these time puns, Nick.
Yeah, there's a 99-second store because you pay with the time that you have left.
Hilarious. And then they had the biggest opportunity here, Nick, for Sylvia to jump in Will's arms. She could have looked up at him with longing eyes, and Will would have been like breathing heavy because he was running so fast. He could have said, I got you. And then she could have said, just in time. That would have been the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Actually. I mean, they set themselves up that they had to say that, but they end up not doing it. So it's kind of a loss. It's like, how could you not? But if you did, that'd be awful.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That'd be the worst thing ever. I'd be like, I'm out. Hey, what's poppin', corn dogs? Benny Noodle, welcome back. It is time for another podcast. Yes, that is right. With more time comes more problems. And I'm here with the biggest problem in the world. He's my best friend, but I'm no better because I'm Captain Pop. I'm Jimmy Crack Corn. I am just on the clock. So you can call me Captain Clock today, actually. And Nick is here with me. He is my best friend. He's the corn dog. He's a clock watcher. You know, he likes to block your clock, if you know what I'm saying. He's a demon, and he is ready to talk movies with me because he's just in time.
Well, my friend, you have stolen all the introduction. You kind of clock blocked me, bro. Here we are. But yeah, thanks for the introduction. I am Nick. I am the corn dog, the clock dog, the corn clock. And we're going to go ahead and do this thing here, James. If anyone remembers from last episode, and you better remember, and if you don't remember, go back, listen to the previous episode. It was my turn to pick a movie, James, and I gave you the hint of Just in Time. I said it works both ways. And for this week, buddy, we are watching Justin Timberlake's In Time. So you a little punnage there.
Right. Yeah, that was actually a super good clue because it did have that double meaning. And you literally said the movie title in the clue. That was a little cheeky there.
A little
that was
bit,
cheeky.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, is it like a 4th of July movie? Is it Independence Day? Was it like literally it's just in time for when we're recording this? So I didn't know what that meant. But then you gave me a couple clues and you said a famous pop star was in it. And then I remembered subconsciously you're just in time. I was like, wait, Justin Timberlake is a pop star. Justin Timberlake was in that clock movie. That's what we're watching. It's happening.
It is happening.
Nick, you'll remember that this is the quote unquote consolation prize for the end of the year wrap party of 2024. Nick, you got to pick a random movie for the slate for the year of 2025. And it's usually something that's off the beaten path. Last year, when I picked a movie, because I won the previous year's quiz, I picked a movie that I thought was really good in high school. It was a personal favorite of mine. That was Four Brothers from 2005. Because our usual slate of movies is old ones that are classics, and we think we got to see this, or it's new stuff, or it's meme stuff. When it's our own personal picks, it's kind of like a more curated pick. Can you just very quickly let us know, why did you pick the 2011 movie In Time, starring Justin Timberlake?
Nice. This is a movie that I remember from the younger years back when it came out in 2011. And I remember the concept being really cool. And for the last 4 or 5 years, I've thought to myself, I really got to go back and watch that. I wonder if it is good, or if it was as groundbreaking as I thought it was, or as special. And so this was just a good opportunity for me to watch it and force you to watch it and then talk about it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I've never seen it before, so I was excited to watch it. First watch. It seems like a very just play it movie. So I am ready to categorize this under the forgotten movies column of the just play it room of opportunities. aka our Blockbuster, aka our shelves of movies that we watch. We pick up a movie and we just play it. If you're listening to us, don't forget, we are on YouTube. We have full podcast episodes on YouTube, so we encourage you to follow us. We are at Just Play It Podcast on YouTube and Instagram. We're also at Just Play It Pod on X. If you want to see if Nick is tweeting anything over there, or Xing, if he's X, gonna give it to you over there. I don't know what happens on X. I don't have X. That's your domain, friend.
It's a weird place.
So, Nick, we need to kick off this puppy with our pre-pop points. So this is our gut reaction scores, hot off the press score. I believe I'm going first this week. So if you want to count me down, I will show you what I am pre-popping.
Show me what you're twerking with there, friend. All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. James, you are showing me In Time, a.k.a. Minutemen 2. Nice. You're giving it a 4.5. And James, I want you to give me just 3 words. Give me those initial thoughts that come to your brain. 3 words to describe this movie.
Interesting, lost, but neat. The but doesn't count. Yeah, I thought neat was a good word for that, just because it was like, oh, neat. I would love to see what you are going to give this score before we unpack it and talk about it. If you have a pre-pop score ready, please show the crowd on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Nick, In Time, you are pre-popping it at a 5.1, like a Dolby surround sound number. And can you just give me 3 words to describe your thoughts?
Easiest job ever, James. Time is money.
That's going to be a hint that there's going to be a lot of time puns and substituting the word time for money. So time is time, and we got to get to it. Nick, let's talk about In Time. This is directed by Andrew Niccol, and he also wrote and directed both Gattaca and Lord of War with Nicolas Cage.
Not a scrub.
He's not a scrub, especially with this next credit, because he also wrote The Truman Show, and he has a story credit for The Terminal. So Andrew Niccol, he's been around the block. He's not a nobody. I love The Truman Show. I actually really love The Terminal. Whenever they get these story credits on stuff, I'm like, did you just do the original pitch? Did you write the script and it totally got rewritten? I don't know. But Truman Show, he's the sole writer on that. He's also the sole writer on this. And he was the sole writer for Gattaca and Lord of War.
So the man can put a story together, an interesting story together.
Should be in for a good ride, right? We'll see. Nick, this movie is starring Just in Time Timberlake, Amanda Seyfried, and Cillian Murphy. I think all of these are just new friends to the show. I don't think we've seen any of these guys, right?
No, I don't think so. No friends of the show. We've talked a lot about Cillian Murphy when Oppenheimer was nominated for an Oscar, but first movie with him.
And Nick, this is going to have a budget of $40 million. It is going to go on to gross $174 million worldwide, but I think it grossed $37.5 million in US and Canada. Kind of weak. Let me look up a movie that just came out recently, which would be Marvel's Thunderbolts, because that was, while it was a very good movie, it was critically well received. It had a budget of $180 million and it grossed $380 million. So by our math, we're thinking, oh, they're good. But apparently that was a money loss for Disney, I think, compared to like what they maybe put into marketing or whatever. They said it was a loss at some point. So I can only imagine that getting less on domestic for your budget and then not even really eclipsing past 200 million can't be super good. But, you know, mathematically, we always just look at it like, hey, did you cross the threshold of the budget? Cool. You know? So yeah, behind the scenes, breaking even might not be breaking even. So this one didn't do too stellar at the box office.
Right. It'd be like if you bought a car for 10,000 and then sold it for 10,000. There's still a lot of overhead that goes along with it, right? Like you got title fees and registration and insurance. You still come out as a loss. So you need to recoup enough to. So I don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes in the biz, like you said, marketing, You have, your actor salaries might be off the books, or licensing.
I think those would be included, but yeah, just like stuff you don't think about.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I know, and the other thing is budgets are usually like estimated because studios aren't public companies who have to disclose their books. So it's usually like, oh, somebody at the company said we have an estimated 70 million. It's like, okay, is the bookkeeping being really honest about this? Or how far over are we? So you never know, but still good numbers for In Time, better than I thought it'd be worldwide. And man, foreign audiences love their pop stars. So not too surprised that Justin Timberlake went ahead and had himself a success overseas in the box office.
And I want to say when it came out, it was going up against Puss in Boots.
Ooh.
And let's see. Box office, Wikipedia. In Time grossed $12 million on its opening weekend. Oof. Debuting at number 3 behind Puss in Boots and Paranormal Activity 3. The film declined later on during its 14-weekend box office run, and it eventually grossed over $37.5 million in the U.S. and $136.4 million internationally, with a worldwide total of $173.9. So,
wow, kind of crazy to see a movie that's. I'd call this movie very domestic, right? As far as appeal goes, like very domestic appeal with the actors and the action and the sci-fi, and for it to
no, I think it has international appeal with like sci-fi and action. Those are like the biggest moneymakers for American movies for overseas.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, usually you'll see like maybe a 50-50 split, but to see like a 3x return international over domestic, it feels like it's a little more.
What were we talking about? We were talking about that was Rogue One. We were going over box offices, and I kind of broke down some that did equally, because usually it's not equal. Like Rogue One was a rare occurrence where domestic and international were basically neck and neck. Same thing with The Dark Knight. And then I threw out that list of movies that kind of ratioed out all crazy, and Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, I think it was like 29% to 71. So like it's very volatile. I don't understand like what causes that, but that's where we're at with In Time. In Time did not make that much time at the box office. Apparently it spent a lot of time in theaters.
But, 14-week run is pretty.
That's unheard of these days. All right, Nick. Well, I think we have the time, I think. And time is time. So we got to get talking about In Time. I'm going to go ahead, read this log line, and then I think we should just jump into plot talk.
Let's do it.
Log line. In a future where people stop aging at 25 and time is literally currency, a man accused of murder goes on the run with a hostage, working to destroy the corrupt system.
Well, James, let's see how corrupt that system really is.
That sounds brazy.
We'll see that in time. In plot talk. All right, James. Well, we start with a monologue here. And James, your favorite device, we have instructions.
We get verbal instructions, so no title card. Title card's a little cheesy. Narration's not that much better, but what's our instructions here, Nick?
Our instructions, basically what we said in the log line, we're in the future. Time is currency. Everybody lives till 25. And then after that, you have to work for time. And once your time runs out, you die. So everybody's going to be looking to age 25 throughout this movie. It's impossible to age beyond that. There's ghettos, and then there's rich neighborhoods. Obviously, the rich neighborhoods have more time, and the poor neighborhoods are working day to day, literally, because they're always working with about 20 hours left. If you miss work, you die because you run out of time. It's a crazy world out there.
We're genetically engineered to stop aging at 25. The trouble is, we live only one more year, unless we can get more time. Time is now the currency. We earn it and spend it. The rich can live forever. And the rest of us, I just want to wake up with more time on my hand than hours in the day.
And the year's 2169.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I only saw that on the Wikipedia page. I didn't know if they ever said that. I didn't know if they said that in the beginning narration, but I just thought we were in like an alternate reality where this weird phenomenon when you're born, there's an internal clock inside of you. And once you turn 25, the clock starts ticking and everyone is given an additional year. And basically you have to manage your time, work to acquire more time, and more time is installed in you. But like you said, you can't physically age past 25. So we have people in this movie that all the actors are like in their 20s. So sorry, 30, 40-year-olds, if you're looking for a job in this movie, get lost because we don't have time for that. It was a very interesting subject. I saw the trailer just to see what it was about. The trailer looked super interesting, super enticing, and I was ready to get into this. So I was excited, and we're going to get introduced to our main star here, Justin Timberlake. He is playing Will Salas. Was he supposed to be Latino or something?
It's like he's super white.
Yeah, he is literally living minute to minute in the ghetto, and they call it the ghetto. We're not just being facetious about this place. This was shot in Skid Row and Boyle Heights in LA, two notoriously kind of rundown areas. Boyle Heights is obviously developed. Skid Row is just obviously lawless. Do not go there. I thought the ghetto was kind of funny because it was obvious that they were outside, but it's also obvious that they super shut down the streets because there was just so much like random backgrounds, just like, okay, we're going to walk from this point to this point. You guys are going to walk from this point to this point. There's no cars, maybe like one car out there, but it just didn't seem like a bustling city. It was just like we closed down this block and we have 50 extras in the background. They're just walking around aimlessly.
Yeah, we see the LA River. Like, so we're like, okay, if you know the area, you go, okay, we're in LA.
Except we're not. We're in Dayton. Nick, they do this cute thing by dividing up the rich zones with people, and time is money. So, Nick, what are these zones called?
These are time zones, James.
Time zones. So are there actual time zones in this universe? Are there actual PST and Central and Greenwich times? Who knows? The time zones in this movie are physical areas. Dayton is the poorest, and apparently it sucks.
Yeah, there's a 99-second store because you pay with the time that you have left.
Hilarious. Very cute.
We were talking earlier, James. The guy who did the editing also did the editing for The Matrix, a few other big movies. And you have this imposed timer on your forearm, on the inside of your forearm, like this green that's constantly counting down. Really cool effect. I like the way they pulled it off. I thought that was a great way to be constantly showing it. So instead of everybody always looking at their watch, they're always looking at their forearm, like tracking their time.
We'll have a lot of questions about how this world works. I'm not really going to question the fact that everyone is born with a timer and then it starts at the age of 25. That's just how it is in this movie. It was explained to me in the movie, in the instructions. I accept that. How it all unfolds, I'll question it.
Yeah. Now we're going to get introduced to Will's mom. And remember, people only age till 25. So Will's mom is super hot. At first, he walks into the room, and I'm like, "Oh, is this like his girlfriend? This is Smoke Show." And he's like, "Hey, mom," and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa!" That threw me off.
It's not just anybody. This is Olivia Wilde, so super hot mom. Is there no? I don't want to go there, but is there no sexual tension?
It felt like it a little bit, right? Like kisses her on the cheek, dances with her in the kitchen, embraces her. I'm like, "Oh, this is."
Happy 50th.
50. That's right.
25 for the 25th time. When you get back, we're going to celebrate.
Are we completely sold on this idea, everybody? Freaks? I don't know.
Yeah, but they're both struggling. They're constantly loaning time, giving each other time, making sure each other's staying alive.
Let me give you 30 minutes so you can have a decent lunch.
4 minutes for a cup of coffee?
Yesterday it was 3.
You want coffee or you want to reminisce?
And this is where we first learned that prices are variable, so they change day by day. So yesterday it was 3 minutes for a cup of coffee. Today it's 4 minutes for a cup of coffee. There's this constant like stock ticker that's always changing, telling you the prices of things. Or the pay goes down for the day.
Whoa. What is this? Where's the rest?
Never met the quota.
My units are up from last week.
So is the quota. Next.
We don't know why it's changing yet, but it's a little weird, and it pisses everyone off in the ghetto. Like, what? it's very unfair. We could tell that it's very unfair. The whole time economy is a little manipulated. We're getting an inkling of it. We're talking about all these rich people. And James, we're going to get introduced to one of these rich people because Will and his best buddy, Borel, are going to go to a bar. So what do you do when you only have, 5 hours? You go and you spend 30 minutes of your money on booze. You got to go booze it up.
And your time.
If
you're spending money, you're spending basically life force out of your forearm, but you're also burning money constantly. Let's say if you had like $24,000 in your bank account, and then, oh God, put myself on the spot, do math here. 24,000 divided by 24 is, don't yell at me, I'm smart, 1,000. So you're burning $1,000 every hour. So every minute you are burning $16. You're burning money, you're burning time at the same time. No pun intended. Seems like a flawed system. But then this rich guy comes in who is Henry Hamilton, and he's played by Matt Bomer, or as I'll call him, Matt Boner. I'm pretty sure I've been to this guy's house. I think I dropped off a script at his house one time, not inside his house, but I think because back in my day when I was a PA in Hollywood, he was on the show I was working on, American Horror Story, and the showrunner didn't want the show to leak, so he would always have us PAs drive to people's houses and either hand deliver scripts or just throw it over their weird Hollywood Hills fence and trying not to get attacked by a cougar. Not like a hot Olivia Wilde out in the wild, but like a actual cougar, because we're just in them Hollywood Hills. I'm pretty sure I was outside this guy's house one time. That's my only connection with Matt Boner.
Nice. Well, our boy Henry Hamilton, he has a century of time.
You're not gonna believe it. This madman's been buying drinks all night. He's got a century.
We'll learn that you can like gamble with your time and you can get more time. So like, at some point we will see someone with a 4-digit years. But Matt Bomer, Henry Hamilton, that just sounds like a rich guy. Henry Hamilton.
Yeah.
He's coming into this dive bar in the ghetto with 119 years, 109 years, something like that. He's balling out. Borel is all stoked. He's like, yeah, this guy's buying everybody drinks. It's crazy. Will's a little bit sus on this. He's like, why is this guy flexing his time in the bar? Doesn't he know he's going to get jacked? And guess what, Nick? He is about to, because the fucking Minutemen come in, and I'm like, holy shit. Did the Minutemen from the Disney Channel original movie that we watched last year, did they time travel into the future? And are they now gangsters?
We are the Minutemen, not the Weenie Men.
Is Jason Dolly Alex Pettifer? I don't know. Because we watched a Disney Channel original movie called Minutemen. They were time traveling. And I won't roll out a conspiracy theory, but who's to say they didn't break bad? And now they're just jacking your time. They come into the bar, they see Henry, and they're going to straight up murder him for his time. The main guy in the Minutemen is Fortis, and this actor is Alex Pettifer. I only recognize him from a few random things. There's this really bad B movie that's just not good, but I've seen it multiple times. It's called I Am Number 4. It's like a sci-fi teen.
I remember this one
with Diana Agron. I've seen that movie like 2 or 3 times. It's got Timothy Olyphant in it. Alex Pettifer plays like an alien or something, and they have to kill somebody, all these guys in order, and he's the 4th one.
I am number 4.
So they killed 1, 2, 3. So the title I Am Number 4, that's a horrible title, terrible title. I might just call him I Am Number Fortis for this review.
I am number 4.
I Am Number Fortis is going to come in. He's going to try and jack the Boner Man. Everyone's clearing out because the Minutemen are like, they're kind of like 30s gangster vibe. They kind of come in with like suits. I don't know if they had any pinstripe suits. Like, was one guy in a bowler hat? I don't know. They're very like not, they don't talk like, meh, see, but they kind of roll in like
they act it.
They're just thugs.
But our boy Will, who is a good man, is going to save our rich boy Henry Hamilton. And they're going to spend the night in a warehouse with a chair and a couch in it. And Will just knew of this place that they could crash. I wasn't quite sure.
Very picturesque way to have an expository scene. The spill your guts scene.
Old factory lofts.
It looks like when they, before the Super Bowl, when they have like, Aaron Andrews interview like Saquon Barkley, and they're in like this weird cinematic cool set. It's just like, wow, what perfect lighting and what a cool abandoned warehouse. And there's just 2 chairs just facing each other. like it's an interview. How perfect.
How old are you? In real time?
28.
I'm 105.
Good for you.
But the day comes when you've had enough. Your mind can be spent even if your body's not. We want to die. We need to.
I know he says this quote, for few to be immortal, many must die. And he kind of has like this weight that he needs to get off his shoulders, kind of like going crazy with how much time he has. And he says, oh, humans aren't meant to live forever. Humans need to die.
He's like over 100 years old.
You really don't know, do you? Everyone can't live forever. Where would we put them? Why do you think there are time zones? Why do you think taxes and prices go up the same day in the ghetto? The cost of living keeps rising to make sure people keep dying. How else could there be men with 1 million years while most live day to day?
And it's kind of like a little bit of a revelation to Will. And he now understands that the rich and powerful, there's going to be this word thrown out that is going to explain who these bad people are. It's just going to be they. We don't know if they are the government. We don't know if they are the rich people. We don't know if they are both, but it's some sort of controlling figure entity out there that is just suffocating these people in the ghetto.
If I had all that time, I sure as hell wouldn't waste it.
They get drunk, and once Will passes out, our guy Henry thinks, yeah, this guy deserves more time.
Matt Boner can't take it anymore, so he just gives all his time to Will.
You could transfer time with somebody by touching your wrists together and doing a little, I don't even know, like love tap on the wrists.
Yeah, handshake, a dap up.
Yeah, and so while Will is passed out, Henry's going to give him all of his time except 5 minutes. And in those 5 minutes, Henry's going to go over to the bridge over the Los Angeles River. Dayton River. I was like, do I call it that? And he's going to die. And so we see when your time runs out, it looks like your body jerks a little bit and then you just go unconscious.
And I thought he could have left himself a little bit more time. He could have left himself like 30 minutes so that he didn't have to die over the Dayton River, just so he can go somewhere cooler and die. But he just wants to fall dead in the concrete river.
Will's like, holy shit, they're going to think I killed him. So he's going to take off with 116 years in his pocket. So Will, he has all this time. And then he's going to go meet his mom for dinner. But James, something bad happens.
They are supposed to meet up, and Will obviously is loaded with time now. Yeah, runs into his boy Borel and gives him 10 years because they've been friends for 10 years. And then so he's going to go meet up with his mom. Again, looks like a date because he's got flowers. So I'm like, are we sure about this? What's going on? Will is waiting for his mom at a bus stop. The mom is getting on a bus, and then the bus driver's like, I'll be 2 hours. And she's like, it was an hour yesterday or something. And then he says, well, beat it. It's a 2 hour walk. And she only has an hour and a half. So I'm like, the math ain't mathing, you know? So she's got to run. And Nick, I just have a nitpick here.
Nitpicks.
Cell phones would have been huge in this world for a futuristic time when we're just on the clock. We can transfer time wrist to wrist. I think they can wire time, like wirelessly to things. Yeah. They have like these high tech things, but no phones. So it just said, hey, the bus is now 2 hours. I'm going to die. Will could have been like, no, we're not. I have 116 years. Let's sprint and meet exactly here. Here's the fastest route.
Yeah.
No phones.
No phones. And it's weird because this is 2011, the movie's being made. So it's not like it's 1998 and cell phones aren't widely accepted as this massive communication device. So
they exist.
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't even think about that, but you're right. It is.
This will ruin a lot of movies for you, but if you watch a lot of movies where cell phones don't exist, but you just imagine they do, they would solve 90% of movies.
Maybe a cell phone bill would cost too much time, so people in the ghetto don't have them.
Or like a walkie-talkie or something.
A walkie-talkie, I don't know. Yeah, now we're getting...
Yeah, so they're running towards each other in the street, and then I was like, oh my God, she's gonna croak. She's gonna run out. Her time is up.
Their times are ticking like 10 seconds, and they're sprinting at each other. Mom!
I was like, even if like you caught each other, you need to like immediately go wrist banging, wrist to wrist, and just suck time from each other.
Yeah, so mom doesn't make it. Hot mom is dead.
No.
Will, now armed with the knowledge that the system is corrupt, and now that system has killed his super hot mom, he is saying to himself, all right, it's time to go see what this system's all about. And we're going to head to New Greenwich, a.k.a. the rich-ass city. And James, let me just say that we're 30 minutes into this movie at this point, and I'm like, wow, we've gotten a lot of action. We've got a lot of plot development. We're going. Our boy, Andrew Niccol, has really, built this world up here in 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, we're into this.
Is it Greenwich or Greenwich?
Greenwich.
But it's spelled Greenwich. But I always feel like I hear Greenwich. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was weird saying that when I read that. Because I was like, oh, they're doing another time thing because Greenwich or Greenwich mean time is like the main time in the world. W silent. The W is silent. It is Greenwich.
Yeah.
Greenwich Mean Time. And you know what? That's a perfect way to describe this place because those guys are mean.
Yeah.
In New Greenwich, they're like, it's mean time. And we're going to be rich assholes and just control time.
We have lots of time, so it's mean time.
It's mean time, baby. JT just immediately snaps into a Slim Jim and says, it is revenge time. I'm going to take down this system. So he's just going to dedicate his life because he's got 100-something years on the clock. He's got time. He's got time as a currency. And he's ready to just roll into Greenwich. And we are paying like these bridge tolls and we're going time zone to time zone. I think it's like
Costs
12 time zones.
Yeah.
Costs a month to get in. He only had like minutes on his wrist beforehand. So he's going to go in to New Greenwich, aka Century City, aka the CAA building right off Century Boulevard, right outside Fox Studios. Drove by that plenty of times. He's just going to get integrated into this rich lifestyle, and we're going to go to a casino because he's got all his money and he's good at poker. We find that out, and he's ready to gamble some time. We got a poker scene, and we're going to meet one of our big bads here.
Yeah, we're going to meet Philippe Weis. I called this like a Casino Royale scene. It reminded me very much of it. Even Philippe Weis has the same. I had the actor's name written down. I'm forgetting about it.
I don't even know if it's Philippe or Philip, but I think he's just called Weis. He's like a recognizable guy, but I don't know where I've seen him. It's Vincent Kartheiser. He's from Mad Men. Very punchable looking face. Kind of like a childish looking, but like
very smug.
Kind of just like a.
He had the same sort of look in his eye as Mads Mikkelsen does in Casino Royale, so it was very Casino Royale-esque to me.
It's funny that you said that because I thought, wow, JT is becoming like a super spy, like super quick. Like he's like, I'm a chameleon, I'm suave, I'm in a tuxedo. I was like, is this James Bond?
He ends up driving like a really small British convertible. And I'm like, this
he's like
is
a citoyen.
It's like very European. I'm like, he's very much Bonds-in.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of your company before, Mr.
Solace. Will Solace.
There's the girl, right? The villain's daughter who's dark and mysterious. You're like,
And again, you can't tell because later we'll meet this villain's mother, wife, and daughter, all 25. Really weird. It like, does no one care if a 130-year-old is banging a 27-year-old in this world?
Yeah, and Weiss brings that up when Will is hitting on his daughter. He goes, "I know what you're thinking, Will. Is that my daughter? Is that my wife? Is that my mother?" He goes, "Don't worry, it's my daughter." So, but that doesn't help me because you could be 120 and she could be 80.
So doesn't matter. Yeah,
there's
just like
age is
like,
nothing
don't worry.
here.
It's my daughter. It's like, it doesn't matter. Everyone's 25.
Yeah, but his daughter is Sylvia Weis. This is Amanda Seyfried. This poker scene is cool because Will does something, and this is where people start realizing he's not from around here because he plays fast and loose with his time, where he goes all in, and he goes all in with like 30 seconds left or 20 seconds left on his wrist.
Like 2 seconds left.
And he's doing this stare down, and he's like refusing to turn his cards over. I'm like, oh my God. Dude, you're really banking that you're going to get your payout instantaneously. Not like, oh, sir, we'll give you your winnings at the window over there.
I was like, you better like play the game because you're going to die. They're very willy-nilly with the seconds. ticking down because same thing. Like when Olivia Wilde is like getting on a bus and she's like, I only got 90 minutes to live. Hope I can make it in time. Hope the bus doesn't break down. Just like everyone's like not stressed. I'd be freaking out.
Yeah, I think that's intentional. Like they've been living that way so long that having 10 minutes left or 30 seconds left isn't as scary to them. Yeah,
I guess.
I think they're really trying to. Niccol is really trying to beat it into our brains that these people really don't have much to live for. And Justin Timberlake, Will Salas says this a few times when he is kind of gallivanting around with Sylvia of, like, oh, when you don't have a lot of time, you live life. Like every second matters. And so they're really trying to get that into your head. But James, we have one more character who's going to play a big shot or a big spot in this movie.
Big shot spot.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, who's going to show up as Timekeeper Leon. Big future cop vibes, a lot of leather. Reminds me a little bit of the Harley Davidson Marlboro Man goons. Leather look and very suave looking. And what these guys do is they track the economy of time in each zone. So they have this big computer monitor and they see where time's going. They make sure that the ghetto doesn't have too much time, that time isn't leaving one zone going to another, or it upsets the balance. So we're going, whoa, we have some population control things going on. Like this whole economy's rigged. And we're getting a little more, we're peeling back the onion of this whole time system.
Speaking of peeling back the onion, Nick, I got to pop the corn. I need to bring up a talking point right now because this is where it's opening up. I was all about accepting, like, okay, yeah, everyone's got a clock. Everyone's got a year after they're 25. So they got to spend their money, spend their time, blah, blah, blah. But as we're living in this world and we're paying these bridge tolls, I'm like, where's the bridge toll time going? Does that go to
the troll toll?
The government? Yeah. Is that to a troll? Is that to the government? Is that to a private bridge operator? Who's issuing this time? Is it the government? Do we ever see the government? I think the timekeepers are definitely government adjacent. They're like the cops of this world, but who do they report to? Is there like a IRS? Are we printing money? Are we issuing time? Because Nick, my fucking head was spinning, going through, how does like inflation work? And I'd Googled the stupid question, like, why can't you just print more money and then that would solve your problems? Well, that in short will create inflation because you're just inserting more money into the world and there's not enough goods in the world. So if everyone has money, then goods are useless, or like the prices just like go up. So like it's like, oh, everyone has money and they're offering more money. So now my goods will go up. So supply and demand. I was like, I haven't learned this since high school. Since economy class. So how does it work? Like, is there a set amount of time in the world? Because I don't know if they said this. I don't know if this was disclaimed at all or if they just left it up to interpretation. But my thought is, and we'll learn this later, some people have vaults of like an astronomical amount of time. So I thought, okay, you couldn't have just harnessed that organically, right? You didn't like kill a bunch of 25-year-olds right when their clock started and just stole a whole year and then stole a year and then stole a year. And you have to kill 1 million people to get their year.
Yeah. No, that's a great question because I was thinking the same thing. Because, I mean, if I was going to put on my economics hat right now, it's not like money.
I need this explained.
It's not like money where it's like, oh, there's a finite amount because everybody's losing time just by existing. So you can't have, so as they're losing time, you need to have people gaining that time to keep a fixed amount of time. But where does the time come from? And James, this is really a huge crux for me in this movie. Spoiler alert. Our next 30 minutes of this movie is not going to be figuring out the answer to our questions. We're going to start gallivanting around. And I think a huge issue with this movie is you could have spent 20 to 30 minutes, Niccol, you did the Truman Show. Okay. Yeah. Then you showed us behind the scenes of the Truman Show and how it works. And then Truman discovering it and all of these things. And this movie was lacking that because, yeah, you could really get into some interesting things, right? Who set up this system? Who's the real big bad?
Yeah. Because they could have really explored the idea that people are currency. You could have maybe when we peeled back the curtain, like you were saying, we could have saw like, oh, like they're like siphoning people's years to make sure that their time life force doesn't go to waste. Because later on in the movie, there's a scene with the Minutemen, and some guy pulls a gun on them for protection, and then they end up wasting them anyway. And then he had a month on them, and then Fortis is all pissed off. He's like, oh, what a waste of a month. So it's like you could have really just explored that, maybe just like explored the idea of like, oh, people are a resource because people are money. And then you could have had like this crazy, like dark side to society of like, oh, like, because if you kill someone in the street, let's say like a movie we watched, Menace to Society, like people were just gunning people in the street, and there wasn't like a reward to that. It was just like, that's how it was on the street. But in here, it's like there's value in people's life force and their time. So like, I felt like we didn't explore the moral high grounds and low grounds and the ethics of this system and why people have more time and why it's just like these guys have more time and they're bad, and you don't have a lot of time and you're good.
Yeah. Communist propaganda. Well, James,
God damn it.
Will gets accused of stealing time from Henry. That's what our boy Leon, Cillian Murphy, thinks. He goes, there's no way that Henry would ever just give his time to somebody in the ghetto. It doesn't make any sense. He's rich. He's powerful. He's everything he ever wanted. Therefore, you killed him.
It's sad that you can't make it rain with time.
Yeah, like,
you know, you can make it rain with money. Yeah, if you just like brush numbers off.
He's throwing hours.
It does that, and then like it'll like catch him. You know, can't do that.
There's little like clock symbols from Tony Hawk Underground show up all over the place. People start collecting them. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
With. But Will is resourceful. They've never seen someone as cunning as him in New Greenwich. He's going to escape his captors, and he's going to kidnap Sylvia. That's going to be his bargaining chip. And slowly, we're going to get the whole guilty rich kid. She's going to see his side of town, the way he lives, get empathetic towards him.
Speaking of guilty, there is no innocent until proven guilty in New Greenwich, because they are just like, you're under arrest, and we know you murdered this guy with no proof. And they take 1,000 years from him because he was rolling. He was big balling at the casino. He had 1,099 years. And then I think after that crazy move, power play on Weis, I think he got like an astronomical amount of years. And so they just siphon the 1,000 years. They leave Will with 2 hours. When he kidnaps Sylvia as the bargaining chip, then he hops into one of those old school cars. He does hit time cop Leon with the Brian O'Connor School of Driving, because he does the reverse maneuver on the freeway. If you recall from Too Fast, Too Furious, Brian O'Connor hits the Mitsubishi Evo in reverse, flips off Tyrese and says, that's the Brian O'Connor School of Driving right there, baby.
That's the Brian O'Connor School of Driving right there, baby.
So I thought, this guy is a super spy out of nowhere. Super sick. Did he have a car before?
No,
Probably
she says,
not.
do you know how to drive? And he says, how hard could it be?
Do you even know how to drive?
What's that enough?
That's a line.
Apparently not hard at all.
That's a line in the movie.
Nick, at a point here, while we're bulling in the car, we're going to get into a car crash.
We're back in the ghetto. Yeah.
Yeah. We drove all the way back to Dayton. Did we pay those bridge tolls? Or did we just run through them?
Maybe you don't need a toll to go to the...
It's like when you go to Oakland on the Bay Bridge, so you don't pay that way, but you pay going into San Francisco, and you're like,
exactly.
Okay. What are you trying to say?
They're kind of saying the right thing.
Minutemen spike trap Will and Sylvia, and I don't know how they knew they were driving on this, because it's not a road. I think it's just like a random platform that's next to the river.
Yeah.
Is that right? Or was it a road? I think it's just like one of those random, just like top sections of the LA River, like the flat platform. Anyway.
Yeah.
There's a spike trap there. They crash. The crash is hilarious. I will get to that in a minute, but I just have to bring up my huge nitpick.
Nitpicks.
Sylvia and Will, they crash the car. They'll get into the LA River. They're like unconscious. Minutemen are going to show up. They're going to time jack Sylvia's time. So she has like a decade, and they just siphon most of that out. I think they leave her with like 30 minutes or something. So Fortis comes up, and dude, this guy was just waiting to say this, because when they initially run into Will and he saves Henry and they get away, one of the henchmen says,
I know who took him. I know who he is.
And then Fortis says,
who he was.
Like, oh, like little time, past, present, like he's already dead. And then when they run into them and the crashed car, that same henchman says,
look who it is. Who it was.
Who it was. I was like, you were just waiting to say that, Fortis.
My guy knows how to set him up.
I am number Fortis.
And knock him down.
He was there. But anyway, my big nitpick with this car crash. It is the car crash isn't the nitpick, but I'm gonna you know what? I'm gonna build up to my big nitpick of this movie, Nick. It's really gonna kind of tear down the whole movie. But let me start out with this. I am digging the cars in this movie. I did really like the decision to go with the retro futuristic look because they did some simple things like adding some lights here, some smooth rims, and then they just dubbed over the combustible engine sound with electronic car sound effects. And it did a simple trick of just selling that we're in this alternate universe. We don't have to make a crazy futuristic looking car because then you kind of get that Back to the Future Part 2 cheesiness when you see like a 1989 Fox body Mustang and it's just dressed up with funny stuff. They went older. There's a lot of like 1960s Buicks and Lincolns and Cadillacs and Dodges. So there was a lot of cool tricks they did there just to kind of save some money. And I think it was minimal and it worked really well. And I think that decision was because of that small budget. Because $40 million is not a big budget for an action movie. You can kind of get away with it, especially in that time. But for reference, Nick, the same year, 2011, the romantic comedy with Adam Sandler, Just Go With It, had a budget of $80 million. So that is twice the amount of Justin Timberlake's In Time, which is a sci-fi action movie. Fast 5, I already mentioned Too Fast, Too Furious, but Fast 5, major franchise, came out the same year. That's an action movie, big budget, $125 million compared to In Time's 40. Just to give some reference, a movie I already shouted out, I Am Number 4, speaking of, also came out in 2011. That had $60 million. That was definitely on par with the kind of quality of effects because there wasn't a whole lot of effects in that movie. And this one doesn't have too much CGI. 20th Century Fox Studios, who put out this movie, they were the distributors of In Time. And then in that same year, they also put out 3 movies. I'll shout out here, Nick. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That is a straight up sci-fi movie. Lots of CG in that movie. A lot of convincing CG in that movie.
Yeah, great CG.
I was kind of surprised. It was quote unquote only $93 million. So less than Fast 5. And there's a lot of like realistic motion capture in that movie, but way more than In Time. Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked, got $75 million. Chipwrecked.
Damn.
And Nick, this is one that just really grinds my gears because 20th Century Fox put out both these movies In Time, and they decided to give We Bought a Zoo $10 million more than In Time. You need to take that $10 million and give it to In Time. I think We Bought a Zoo could have done without a couple giraffes.
Yeah, but if you're going to get the animals, I'd like to spend the money on handlers and safety.
But that's just for reference. So I've never seen We Bought a Zoo. I think it's about Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson buying a zoo. It's like a drama. So there's no car crashes. There's no nothing.
Just a zoo. They're
doing some quick tricks, little small stuff here. So I think the small budget was really efficient with their money, or should I say time, for this sci-fi action movie. The simple but effective tricks with the production design was great. There wasn't really a lot of CGI. I think it was mostly like the illuminated clock on the forearm.
Yeah.
I think that was like the most CGI we got. And then actually a cool sound design thing I caught was when the clock is ticking, it kind of sounds like a little tiny heartbeat, almost like a mini gulp. So there's just like a lot of little simple tricks to kind of sell you on this world. Yeah, not a lot of CGI, but the car crash is where we got a glimpse of that smaller budget because the CGI on the car crash was horrendous.
It just didn't follow the laws of gravity, really.
No. It was like a giant invisible hand of a baby, like playing with a toy car, and it was crashing down a hill. It was like unnaturally falling. Gravity is not in the chat. I wrote down lol, that CGI car crash was not good. Unnatural falling movement, period.
Bad.
A lot to say here. But my big nitpick, Nick.
Nitpicks.
I'm finally here after the terrible car crash CGI. Nitpick kind of brings the whole movie down. Minutemen steal Seyfried's decade and leave her with 30 minutes. And I thought, how is there no password protection on your time? There's no protection. People could just walk up and take your time. Someone could just hold your hand against your will, and then money is wired into their account. They really didn't think of 2FA in New Greenwich, did they? That was a huge issue.
Yeah, well, that's why all the rich people had bodyguards. Remember, the rich people were asking Will, you're here with no bodyguards.
I know, but still, that's it's so dangerous. So dangerous. Think about people in the middle. Let's say it's not Dayton, it's not Greenwich. Let's say middle class. How do those guys protect their time?
Yeah, wouldn't you get a metal bracelet, that locks or something on there?
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, or you need a thumbprint or
It has to be official things hey, I have this connecting USB, you have this thing, let's connect it, connect to Wi-Fi. Okay, let's do a transact. No, just your time's mine. My time. It's non-consensual time swapping because they do it in their sleep. They do it when they're unconscious.
Yeah, there's also a part where whenever they do it, they always have the correct amount of time. So is it a conscious thing that you do to, if I shake your hand, am I going to accidentally give you 30 seconds or do I have to concentrate? Because we're going to get to a part called time fighting where...
Well, and related to time fighting, I do think it's the direction. I think if you're overhand, I think you're receiving it. And then if you're underhand, then you're giving it or you're getting it stolen from you. But yeah, does it all siphon at the same speed? Is it like a gas pump where you have to time the thing? When you try and see if you could just get $20 exactly.
Yeah, it looked like it's one of those systems where it starts slow and then it builds up. When you're pressing up, on your oven to increase the temperature, it starts 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 150, 200. It just kind of accelerates really fast is what it felt like. So, that didn't, 2FA or some kind of password or consent of any kind.
The lack of cell phones and lack of consent and password protection is what?
Yeah, like I said, the rich all had bodyguards for that reason, so that no one could come and steal their time or hurt them. The poor people obviously can't afford that, but yeah, it feels like protecting your own time would be.
I think you need some sort of password, or even like you said, a physical barrier, just so someone can't just jack your time jackers.
Yeah,
but anyway, Sylvia's decade is sucked out of her. I think Will had 2 hours when he got quote unquote arrested at the mansion. And then he asked Sylvia for some time. And then they're all the way back in Dayton. I don't know how far or how long it takes to get back to Dayton.
Give me some time.
Guess you really are from the ghetto after all.
Lend me an hour.
I'm not giving you a second.
It's pitch black. They're underneath this LA Dayton bridge. And then that spike trap scene looks like it's a 10 a.m. looking shot. So I was like, did he get some time? Just the time's not time in here. I'm not sure.
Yeah. That happens a few times in this movie where they show the amount of time they have left, and you're thinking to yourself, there's no way. It's been longer.
There's no way.
It's been longer than that time that they showed us. But we know we can get some time. We gave our boy Borel 10 years. So we're going to go get that from him. I was
calling him Borel.
I think it's Borel.
I think he deserves to be called Borel because...
Borel's dead.
He was given 10 years from Will. And he drank himself to death with
9 years left.
9 years on the board.
Yeah, he had a wife and kids. Who's his wife? Who is that actress, by the way? I never looked it up, but she is so dang familiar to me.
I think her name was Greta Yaya DaCosta.
That face was...
I'm not recognizing anything.
Does she just have one of those faces that looks really...
No, I don't know her.
She played Whitney Houston in a TV movie of Whitney. So... doesn't help me at all. Well, that's upsetting. I really thought I recognized her. She just has one of those faces, I guess.
Well, Nick, now she has a sad face because her husband, Borel, drank himself to death. Literally, that's what she says. She's like, well, why would you give him 10 years? He just went to the bar and drank himself to death. And I thought, he didn't give any to you? Or like, hey, I'm an alcoholic, I guess. Let's put it in this time capsule. It didn't put it in like the little baby's like time capsule college fund or anything. Just like, I'm going to waste it on the bar tab.
Hey, wife, here's a couple years. I love you.
Take the 9 years. You're more responsible than me.
Or here's 3 just because I love you.
Yeah, I was thinking split it, give some to save some for the kid. But no, he's a huge piece of shit and just goes to the bar and then just dies. It's what's his face from Big Bang Theory?
Oh, I've never watched that show.
I never watched The Big Bang Theory. Hold on. Borel, Johnny Galecki.
Come on, let me get you home. As soon as I finish this drink.
Yeah, Johnny Galecki, who was famous for being in The Big Bang Theory. He plays Borel here. He drinks himself to death, and Nick, he really did go out with a big bang.
Nice.
Bazinga!
What does a year get you, like booze wise?
If we're saying like 8 minutes is one drink, he could have been like buying drinks for everybody, buying
Shelf,
shots. So I'm like,
service.
I was thinking, did he like pass out and literally die from alcohol poisoning, or did someone? No, because they say like he had 9 years on him still.
Yeah, so he drank himself to death essentially.
What a loser,
idiot. So we can't get time from Borel or Borel.
That was convenient.
Yeah. So we're going to sell her diamond earrings, or, we're going to get a few hours here, a few hours there. But really what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to rob some of her dad's time banks. Remember, he's a time, like the billionaire time lender.
It's a time monger.
Yeah. And so we're going to rob his bank just by ramming a truck through the building. The vault is open in the back, and they're just going to steal a bunch of these time capsules, basically wallets with a bunch of time in them. And James, I wrote down, seems easy. Seems really easy for a place like the ghetto that is this desperate. You're telling me it's never been attempted before to just ram this building and steal time?
They fast five it. They just get the cars in there and just yank the vault out and just steal the money. Steal the time.
Well, they tell all the people in line for lending time, they're going like, hey, have at it. So they're heroes of the ghetto right now.
They be Robin Hooding. And yeah, like I said, I was going crazy researching how does the economy work in this movie, and it made my head spin because basically, long story short, this is not an accurate depiction of how capitalism works or how supply and demand works or how inflation works. So just in short, everything that happens in this movie when it comes to currency and why things are being inflated is for plot progression. Like I said, inflation would happen if we had a bunch of time inserted into the circuit and then everyone had a bunch of time to spend. So they wouldn't work or they wouldn't produce goods and they would just spend money on goods and then the prices would go up. But in this movie, it's just like, it's like arbitrary. It's like, oh, the bus fare went up because the rich people said, because they said so. We're going to learn later, or maybe we already learned already, that whoever's in charge is choking out the poor people with inflation. They're just inflating the prices to control the population so that people die off and they can't spend their money on goods or food or water or electricity. So basically it does not reflect how real economics works.
Yeah, and there were times where I thought they were trying to make statements about like capitalism, and then I'm with you. I'm like, but that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
That's not how any of this works.
It's very first grade, just like they're rich and they're bad and we're poor and we're good.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
But now we're in this constant danger, playing Robin Hood in the ghetto. This is the part of the movie that I was saying earlier. I didn't need this part. I'd rather learn more about the time economy and how this started and why things are this way. Will's dad gets mentioned at some point that he was a Robin Hood figure who was giving out time, and the rich people couldn't have that, so they killed him. But he was also a ghetto guy who was just helping other people in the ghetto. So it's not like he was stealing time from the other time zones. So I don't know why that would be a huge issue. There's all these little seeds that are sown that never come to fruition, which is really weird. but his dad was a time fighter. So I thought we had a Jack Murdoch story going on. I thought Will Salas was our Daredevil. And I was like, oh, he was a fighter, and maybe he was supposed to throw a fight for time, but he didn't, so he got killed. No, the time cops, I guess, just killed him for being a good guy.
For investigating too much.
Yeah.
For asking too many questions.
But they do this time fighting thing with just arm wrestling. So you put your arms together like a bro thing.
Will kept saying like, oh, my dad was a fighter, or like, I'm a fighter. I fight. I was like, oh, okay, like, what's this fighting? And then at some point, he teaches Sylvia how to time fight. He's like, you want a time fight, or you want to learn how to do it? And it was like you said, Nick, like you're literally you're doing the time transaction, but you kind of arm wrestle for it. So that I was like, oh, is fighting this arm wrestling thing? Is that fighting in this universe?
Not explored. That's what we have to believe it is. So, but we are going to have to do an arm wrestling thing with.
How's he win? What's the winning strat here, Nick? What's
the winning
Will's
strat
genius idea?
You have to act like you're losing. And then once the other guy's seconds from winning, literally you have seconds left, then they get distracted. And then that's when you turn the tides on them. It's like a Rocky thing. Like, you just got to wear the punches, Rock. And then in the 8th round, you're going to be able to fight back. I mean, until you meet a guy who's really good at time fighting and just doesn't break concentration and just empties you out. So it's like, okay, you can't do that so long. We're fighting our main Minuteman, Fortis. I am number Fortis. He has explained this already to Sylvia, so we already know how this interaction is going to go down. He's going to let Fortis take all his time down to like 5 seconds. Then you got to just wait for them for their eyes to stop looking at you.
Fortis is gonna look at your running clock that's running out, and then that's when you strike, and we're like, oh, it's the thing he said to Sylvia earlier in the movie.
So he's gonna get Fortis's, but he does have a cool moment because he has a gun. And so he's going to get Fortis all the way down to like 5 seconds. Then while they're still holding hands in one arm, he's going to pop all 3 of the henchmen and then run this son of a bitch out of time.
It was dirty work. Yeah. Like, grabs the gun, pops henchmen, and he sucks the life out of Fortis.
Yeah.
It's real steamy in there. Yeah. Minutemen are dead. They were just kind of there as an inconvenience. No real storytelling aspect. I wanted to learn, like, why are they Minutemen? Like, what's their driving force? Are they forced to do this? Whatever, they're dead.
They're dead. Don't worry about them anymore. However, we have another problem. The economy just is now being manipulated even more by the rich. Will finds out that there's no time at the time lending place.
I'm sorry.
Prices of
I'm
everything
just going to throw a question out. I'm throwing a question out. Who controls the time? Is it the rich people or is it the government?
I guess we're meant to believe it's Weis or his
I think
his
he
company
was doing it.
His company is the one doing it. He's like the Rothschilds, as people think, controlling the central bank and whatnot. Because
I was like, how do you control prices of like this private coffee shop?
Like all I needed was a scene of him like putting the word out or whatever it is. But he's mad at Will because he has his daughter kidnapped. Will asked for a ransom. He wouldn't pay it because he cares more about his time than his daughter.
Time is time.
Will says we just should give up. Like, we can't beat the system. The system's too corrupt, right? It's the all is lost moment. And Sylvia goes, how much would it take to upset the system? Will says, I don't know, 1,000,000 years. She's like, well, let's go get 1,000,000 years. So we're going to do this heist on Weiss's office. And guess what he has in his vault, James?
It's 1,000,000 years.
1,000,000 years. A little on the nose.
Shout out. We're doing a legitimate time heist like they did in Avengers Endgame.
This is a time heist.
Time heist?
This is a Weis time heist.
Time waste.
More like a time waste. Got this movie. Weis has 1,000,000 years. Literally.
We're going to steal these 1,000,000 years. Something that's going to come up later. We didn't take time while we were driving back to the ghetto to take that 1,000,000 year and just give ourselves an hour or two extra or a day. No, because now everybody's it could go no other way, James. Everybody's going to have to be on the clock at the end of this.
When we robbed that initial bank, you pocket 5 of those time capsules. Be like, this is just in case we run out of time.
Here's a week. I don't know. But we're going to be pursued by Leon, who also we find out at one point he's dying, and Will gives him some of his time because he's like, hey, he's just doing his job. He lives day to day. We find out the time cops or the timekeepers. They're also paid a per diem, so it's not like they're time cops. They don't have a ton of money or a ton of time.
They get paid day to day, so they're also out here grinding.
So Leon's running out of time. Will's running out of time. Sylvia's running out of time, and then we get a standoff with them, and it's a very unsatisfying standoff because I was really hoping Leon would turn, right? When Will was nice to him, gave him some time, Leon would be like, yeah, this is corrupt, but he is loyal to the time concept till the end.
He's for the TVA.
He's like, I just can't have it. I cannot have it. And then instead of a big showdown, Will just goes, hey, you must be running low on time. And he looks at his arm, he's at 3 seconds, and then just...
Yeah, it's weird. Like, he had a chance to get his day's salary, and he foregoed that to go chase down Will and Sylvia, and then he just croaks. He just dies.
But he didn't forego it because he gets it in his car. Like, the time dispenser is in his car, so he's like...
Dispatch, wire me my per diem.
Time transfer.
Oh, I need my per diem. Like, okay. He's like, wait, I see them. And he turns his car around. It's like, how hard would it be to just go like, bloop?
Yeah, he foregoed it. He's like, I don't need this right now. I'm just going to go. I'll be right back.
It was just like 8 inches. It was 8 inches away from him for like an hour.
That's what I'm saying. It's right there. Why didn't he just grab it?
I don't know, but good thing he didn't, because now he's dead. And Will and Sylvia each have like a minute and a half left, of course.
They're going somewhere. Where are they going at the end? They're like, we got to make it to
Livingston or something, I think.
What's there?
Time.
Anyway, so they're like, oh, we don't have enough time to both make it. And then Will is like, take my time. And then Sylvia's like, no. And then they realize, I guess they knew that Leon didn't clock his per diem. And then they're like, oh, Leon's time is in his car. And then they both run over, or Will runs over. And then they recreate the mom and him running towards each other scene. And we're like, oh, no, we're not going to make it. And then, of course, Sylvia makes it. And then they had the biggest opportunity here, Nick, for Sylvia to jump in Will's arms. And then she could have looked up at him with longing eyes, and Will would have been like breathing heavy because he was running so fast. And then he could have said, I got you. And then she could have said, just in time. That would have been the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Actually. I mean, they set themselves up that they had to say that, but they end up not doing it. So it's kind of a loss. It's like, how could you not? But if you did, that'd be awful.
Damned if you don't.
That'd be the worst thing ever. I'd be like, I'm out.
But we're going to finish this movie off, James, in Bonnie and Clyde fashion. They're going to show up with guns, leather, jackets, and they're going to pull up to this bank. He's going to go, wow. And she's going to tell him, I told you they were bigger banks. Then we pan out to this massive building, and we're like, okay, these guys are just time vigilantes now.
And before all that, like, the time zones are getting all disrupted, and all the poor timers are making their way to New Greenwich. And I was like, okay, this is going to fuck up the ecosystem, because if everyone has time, then no one's going to be working. So, like, I want to know what happens in New Greenwich. Is it going to be like are they going to do like a purge? They going to do like the purge over there, and like the rich timers are like, we're going to kill these poories, these fucking ghetto Daytoners. Like, everyone just goes to the same time zone, is loaded. And then what happened? Like, the people who are producing the time stamps in Dayton, that just stops. Like, all the factories shut down. So I feel like this is like the worst thing they could do, almost.
Yeah, well, it's again, we don't understand the economy, because it almost sounded like there was resource problems, like there wasn't enough food in the world, so we had to decide who couldn't live that long. But you never tell us anything about that. You're just, these people don't have time, these people have time.
And now you're definitely having a lot of people live longer, so there's definitely not going to be enough food in the world. So Will and Sylvia just create a huge problem.
They don't know the consequences of their own actions.
They go into this big CGI looking bank, and we end on that. And Nick, we hit credits. When there's credits, there is funny names. Nick, I have to point out the funny names here. We have JT Panzarella, we have Don Claunch, and we have Art Shippey.
Art Shippey, good for you, man.
Hashtag Don Claunch. I do want to throw out some other stuff I caught in the credits. I thought Blake Shelton was in this movie, but there's Blake Sheldon. He was man at the door. I thought, does Justin Timberlake know Blake Shelton? No, it's Blake Sheldon. So not Blake Shelton. Also, David Leitch was the second unit director.
Like David Leitch?
David Leitch, who did the Fall Guy. He has done, I think, like a Transformers movie, maybe. No, he did. Hold on. What did he do? Oh, yeah. The Fall Guy, Bullet Train. Oh, he did Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw, Atomic Blonde. He was the second unit director. I think he has a lot of stunts work. I think he's a stunt coordinator. So I'm assuming maybe like the car chase scene. He did Deadpool 2. I thought that was cool. All right. So, Nick, that is in time. And now we are just in time to hit everybody with our awards. This is the awards section. We go over the best, we go over the worst, and it is time to go over the mini pops. Nick, we're going to start out with the award we always do, with the best weapon. Counting it down with the tools of time. 3, 2, 1, show me. Nick, best weapon, you wrote wrists.
And James, I see for best weapon you have written time sucking. So I think we're on the same page.
The only problem is it when we get into the fighter dome at the end, do you have to be from this movie to have like a clock in you, or like do the rules apply if, like, let's say it's like, oh, the weapon is time sucking, so then like it's like whoever can get wrist to wrist for a good 5 seconds, you know? It's a stupid weapon that's specific to this movie, but it's very efficient.
I think it's a fun, like, you could suck someone's life force out if you can get close enough to them.
That's the weapon.
All right, James, let's go for best fighter. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And James, I see you put down Will.
Nick, you also put down Will. It's Will.
It's Will. I mean, he was really the most lethal guy. The time fighting arm wrestling scene where he popped the 3 guys in the dome.
That was crazy. Yeah. He's athletic. And I loved in this movie, they kept making a big deal of people's ability to run. Like, oh, he can run so fast. He must be poor because he's got to make a lot of use of his time.
It was interesting because the whole movie, Will's like, I'm a fighter like my dad. And we're like, oh, I can't wait to see him like really throw down. It's like, no, I do the arm wrestling wrist thing. Like,
Okay.
Okay.
And it is now time to name the MVC, the most valuable character of this movie. Give me your answer. I'll show you mine on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Show the crowd. Nick, you wrote Henry Hamilton.
James, I did, and you, sir, said Henry Hamilton, a.k.a. the boner himself.
Boner.
Okay.
My reason was, well, that's our MVC, so no reason to debate. But just my reasoning for it was, he was just a big baller guy rolling into Dayton, buying all the common folks drinks. I was like, what a fucking cool guy. But in all seriousness, he really busted the doors open for Will and kind of gave him his mission and explained a lot of the behind the curtains. So we didn't get a lot of showing of behind the curtains, but he explained behind the curtains, like, time is manipulated, the rich control the time, and there's immortal people out there. And then it kind of just like opens up this thing in Will's head, and he's like, oh shit, like, this is messed up. I gotta go do something, especially after my hot mom dies.
Yeah, without Henry's conscience, Will dies in a matter of a week, right? It's just not going to work. So him doing that, him being a good guy, writing on the window, don't waste my time. That was a good line. Like, don't waste my time. I wish he would have thought of Henry more, or Henry would have had a little more memory throughout the movie because he played such a vital role. But yeah, Henry Hamilton, this movie don't happen without that character. So MVC, baby.
The hams.
All right, James. Well, you can't have an MVC without having a biggest piece of shit in the movie. So, James, On the count of 3, I need to see your biggest piece of shit for in time. 1, 2, 3. James, you said it is Big Bang Guy, Borel.
And Nick, you said bus driver who doomed Will's hot mom. Oh no. Got a couple ratio guys here.
Yeah, so for those new to the podcast, we have a rule, like your screen time to piece of shitness we can't take it into account. Because obviously Weis and I Am Number Fortis are terrible people and have claim to this award. But James, talk to me about Borel. I agree. He's a piece of shit.
No, Borel's got this in the bag. Bus driver is weak. Borel is winning this because bus driver is just doing his job. Granted, he's a little bit of a dick. Like you said, I was going to say I like how he didn't do I Am Number Fortis or Weis or even Leon because they're all just like ancillary bad guys, just like they're bad guys because they're bad.
No depth.
Not interesting. Borel, Big Bang Guy, was a homie. He was a friend. So we're like, oh, he's cool. And then we come back and we learn this piece of shit just drank himself to death. How much alcohol do you consume to literally kill you in like one night? Yeah. Didn't give any of his time to his wife. Didn't think about his child. Was just very selfish. Like, how selfish do you have to be to just go to the bar and just be an alcoholic? And I thought these ghetto people were like way more humble or like appreciative of time. And like, oh my God, like, wow, you gave me 10 years. I'm always grinding to get 5 minutes. And I got 10 years. Dude just blows it all in a bar tab and dies. The time is wasted. 9 years on the clock, gone.
So when Will and Sylvia, Robin Hood, and give everybody time, how many people are going to drink themselves to death?
Apparently a lot. Because Borel, as an average Dayton citizen, and that was the first thing he thought of. Not like, wow, I should save this. No. Drank.
To death. So really the only thing that was stopping Borel from drinking himself to death was money.
Was time.
Was time.
He's a piece of shit, dude.
He is a piece of shit.
Tell me about bus driver. Tell me about bus driver.
Because of his actions, Olivia Wilde died. She was hot. I didn't like that very much.
That sucks. But I think the choices that Borel had and the way he decided to go out with the Big Bang, that wasn't a smart theory there. Borel.
No, but the bus driver could have. She was like, hey, I'll give you an hour now, and then my son, he'll pay the difference. And he was looking at this lady who's like, I'm going to die. And he's like, well,
hey, we're all ticking. Time is ticking. Yeah. He's doing his job. Borel blew it on a bar tab, said, fuck my wife. I'm dead because of my liver. What a jackass.
Hey, I'm down to give this one to Borel. I'm okay with that. I just
oh no, it was Borel.
I just don't like when hot moms die.
That is our awards. What a lineup. This is going to be interesting when it boils down in the end of the year wrap party. But Nick, we have to wrap up our awards, the movie itself, with our sarcastic selling points so we can transition into our final review. I'm going to hit you first with my sarcastic selling point. Nick, this is a shaken but not stirred martini made with 1 part Bonnie and Clyde, 1 part Elysium, poured into a James Bond glass, and garnished with a Robin Hood olive.
You hit all of the points there. Very nice, James. I said the time socialists beat the time capitalists, so suck it.
Time suck it.
Final review. Fight.
Okay, Nick, it is the final review. It's time to go over what the other guys are thinking about in time. Then we will go over what we thought about this movie. We're going to start out with Rotten Tomatoes. Nick, the critics, 36% like this movie. That's a green tomato splat. That's not good.
Splat. And the people, slightly higher, had it at a 51%.
Oh, no. Okay, let's see if Metacritic can save the day here. Metacritic, the critics are coming in at a 53 out of 100. No, they didn't help.
No, they didn't. But the people of Metacritic did. They coming in with a 6.5.
Good for those plucky people always picking us up. And now for our wrist wrestling. Time hassling. No cell phones in these time zones. TikTok and get to walking.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Score. Brought to you by Weis Time Lenders from IMDb, a 6.7.
Woo, Nick, did we sync our watches?
We're timed up. We're cash money. No, we're time money. Cash time.
time talks, bullshit walks, time doesn't grow on trees, and we come from time. And it is now time to hit you guys with our laughable log lines, our popcorn points, and our final scores with this one. Nick, I have the duty of going first. I'm going to hit you with my laughable log line. Nick, laughable log line is time is money. No, literally. And a 28-year-old, 25-year-old vows to collapse the entire time economy after his hot mom mismanages her time. Nick, I pre-popped this at a 4.5. I'm not going super far away. I'm not even moving to the next time zone. I'm just going to put this at a 4.6. 4.6. This movie had a really cool premise. It has so much potential to be thought-provoking and to put our time on this earth into perspective, but it really just ends up being a watered-down action sci-fi movie. And I think we had a lot more interesting things we could have explored in this movie, like how did Weis become so rich in time? Why did those time cartridges hold 1,000,000 years? Is there a storage limit on those? We don't know. Did he farm 25-year-olds? Does he have like a baby barn out back and he's just cooking time in his backyard? Did his lineage create the time bank currency? I feel like we could have got deep and philosophical with the choices and the morals we have to do with like what we do with our time and why time is precious. And we could have emphasized more of like, not capitalism's bad or whatever they were trying to say. We could have said like, oh no, time is precious. Time is not money. Like our time on earth is more valuable and what we do with our time is more valuable. So I thought the first act was really good, very promising. Cillian Murphy killed it. He Cillian'd his role in acting. He's just a great actor. Amanda Seyfried, cool. You did good. Justin Timberlake, you did fine. You know, he kind of had like a acting spurt in these early 2010s with Alpha Dog and this movie, and he was just popping up in movies.
Love Guru.
I didn't know he was in the Love Guru, but there it is. I was judging the car sequences. I thought the car actions were great. I'm just going to say David Leitch did that. And yeah, very interesting movie. Caught my attention. Just didn't stick the landing. I felt like there was so much to unpack here, and we kind of just didn't capitalize on the potential of this movie. So In Time is clocking in at a 4.6 from Captain Clock. Nick, what do you got?
My laughable log line here is very close to you, by the way. I said a guy's hot mom dies, so he has to go and bang a billionaire's daughter and ruin the global time economy. We don't plan these out before.
Yeah.
This is just where we are. James, I pre-popped this at a 5.1, and similar to you, I'm staying in my time zone, and I'm just sticking with what I had. I'm sticking with my gut. There's nothing in this conversation that convinced me to go one way or the other. I'm going to echo a lot of the sentiments. I'll try to keep it brief because I don't want to, reiterate what you said. But still really like the concept. That first 30 minutes, that first act, Andrew Niccol had us on the edge of our seat, right? He's like, oh, wow, I can't look away. I'm going to miss something. This universe is getting explained to me. And then usually when a universe gets set up and explained, and we talked about this with Niccol's other movies, so it's surprising that he didn't do it with this one. Once the universe gets explained, then you get to dive into it. And it's like we explained it, and then we plateaued at 30 minutes as far as what the world is. And then we're just not getting any more depth. Bit of a weird choice there, or just ran out of ideas or ran out of time. One way or the other. But I agree with you. The acting was good. Cillian, have yet to see a movie where I don't love his performance. So he does what he does. He's a great actor. Seyfried, like you said, did good. JT, for what he is, for a pop star, I think he did a great performance. Maybe not great. He did a good performance. Nothing in the acting really bothered me at all. It really just came down to, like you said, the potential, like lost potential. If a movie just is what it is, it's fine. But when you build it up, you're like, oh, yes, you're going to do it. And then they don't do it. It's like, oh, like there's no bigger letdown than that. So still a 5.1. I think it deserves to be just above average, given the content it had, the acting performances, There was nothing that screamed 2011 CGI to me other than that car crash. I like the way the aesthetic of the movie and everything else. So man, this really could have been in the mid to high sevens if they really got it together and dove in. I don't know if they wanted to have a sequel where they dove into it more. It almost seemed like they wanted to set it up that way. But either way, just those middle 30 to 40 minutes did not pass the cell phone test. Like I was just not invested in those middle 30 to 40 minutes. And then that really made the ending fall flat for me as well. So it got most of its score off those first 30 minutes in the universe they built. So 5.1. It's a little disappointing because I remember really liking this movie. And then I look back and I go, okay, I see why I liked this movie. But now with the lens of critical thinking, I go, I was expecting like a 7. I'm like, oh, this is a lost gem. And in the first 30 minutes, I'm like, yes, this is the lost gem I remember. And then halfway through, you're like, son of a bitch.
Damn it. Yeah, a lot of convenience. I agree with your sentiments. I love the production design of this. I thought they did a lot of good with the money they had. Like you said, when they plateaued at 30 minutes, when I was thinking about this movie after I watched it, it reminded me of a movie that had that crazy idea and built a crazy world and delivered by the end. And it's a movie we watched. That would be Minority Report. That was like a crazy, like, what if movie? Like, what if we had these things that could predict the future and then we use that to stop crime? And then we kind of got to follow that character and have them deep dive that world and then peel back the curtain and then question their belief system. And there was a story there and it kept getting more and more interesting. Whereas this one, it's like, yes, they kind of plateaued at that first act. And then it was just like, all right, now we got guns and we're robbing banks and it's not too exciting. It's not too interesting to us. So yeah, I just think they had a great idea. And I say this all the time, especially with horror movies. I think it's not easy, but it's easier to make up a interesting concept, but to deliver it for a full 90 to 120 minutes, hard job. And in time, it didn't do it, unfortunately. All right. Well, Nick, that is In Time. That is your pick for the...
Don't regret the pick, by the way. Glad we watched it.
I was going to say, how do you feel about your pick, knowing that we didn't think it was too great?
Glad we watched it personally. I thought it was actually a really fun movie to break down as, something that was older, kind of a movie that wasn't a staple of our upbringing, but it was there, right? It was around, and was glad we got to look at it through some fresh eyes. So I'm still super happy with the pick.
Me too. I'm thankful that you brought this to the table because now I just have another bullet in the chamber for movies I watch. And this one's In Time, baby. So we want to thank you guys for listening. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Please remember to follow us. We are at Just Play It Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. We are at Just Play It Pod on X. You're definitely going to want to be here next time because we are doing our first in theaters review of the year. It was your pick this time around. Next time we do this is actually my in theaters pick because I won the quiz. This was the grand prize. Don't forget, you got to pay for my movie ticket, my concession stand snacks. So I'll be sending you a Venmo bill. We'll be going to the theaters. I'm pretty sure we already announced this. We're watching Fantastic Four: First Steps. So get ready for it. It's our first MCU movie of JPI. And I can't be any more excited or ready. We're going to be there. We're heading gone for right now. And remember, if that movie ticket is going to cost Nick an arm and a leg, it might have cost him a little minute hand and an hour hand in the In Time world because it's all cute time stuff. Tick, 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 tick.
If you miss work, you die.
He can run so fast. He must be poor.